for warmth, and vacant houses create that space.
Working for you, we asked Kansas City Fire Battalion Chief Michael Hopkins about these fires. He says on average, there's about 150-200 structure fires inside vacant buildings each year. This winter alone, about 45 were in the northeast area.
So typically we'll find that, yes, there was something obviously had to start that fire. Whether or not it was houseless individuals who went in there or what that cause was to determine exactly is kind of hard to do.
The vacant building fires are costly on resources. Hopkins says it can take longer to get to because they're boarded up, and fires can double in size in a minute.
That's why lasers end up being a more catastrophic fire than, say, if someone actually lives at the residence.
Hopkins says they always call out to Dangerous Buildings Department to make an assessment. If the building is deemed too unsafe, the city can take legal action. Until then, it's up to property owners to secure the house. But Palacio says that responsibility has fallen on neighbors.
We want to continue to welcome new neighbors, and I think that these fires are just really getting in the way of helping accomplish those goals.
There is a survey that residents in the Northeast can fill out about the number of vacant buildings in their neighborhood and the amount of fires that happen there. We have a link to it on our website, fox4kc.com. In Kansas City, Missouri, Crystal Martinez, Fox 4, working for you.
Almost at 2 hours.
Hey everyone, happy Sunday evening and welcome into the latest episode of the TDR Traded Black podcast. I am your host, Shad Dales, bringing you the biggest developments yet again in the cannabis industry for the week of January 27th, ending right here on February 2nd. From RFK Jr.'s confirmation hearing in Washington to a major cannabis proposal in Hawaii and the latest on the Senate banking hearing. There's plenty to unpack, so let's dive into it. First up, looks like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is on track to secure confirmation as the head of the HHS. Chalk up another win for the Trump administration. RFK has spoken about rescheduling and descheduling cannabis in the past, but not at this week's hearing. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The HHS has already played its part by recommending reclassification. Now, it's up to the DOJ and DEA to act. While it's great to have another ally behind the scenes, this is still not a done deal. Rescheduling still has some bureaucratic hurdles to clear before we can all be happy with this appointment. Next up, Ohio and its cannabis market might feel like it's getting an unexpected tax hike, as Senate Bill 56 looks to bump the tax rate from 10% to 15%. That extra 5% would flow straight into the state's general fund, supporting everything from road repairs to who knows, morning coffee at the Capitol. The taxes aren't the only concern. This bill would also, 1, cut the maximum home grow limit from 12 plants to 6. Also, ban social equity programs, effectively sidelining diversity initiatives. In addition, lower THC product caps from 90% to 70%, and would require all cannabis to be transported into a locked trunk. The elimination of Ohio's social equity program is particularly troubling, as it could push out smaller players and solidify big corporations' hold on the industry. Additionally, lawmakers want to cap the state's dispensary count at 350, requiring them to serve both medical and adult use customers. David Bowling, executive director of the Ohio Cannabis Coalition, weighed in, warning lawmakers not to disrupt what's already considered one of the best-run cannabis programs in the country. With recreational sales nearing $300 billion since launching last summer, the market's
if I don't agree with it, you know what I say? I'm ready to go.
Ohio's legalization law was passed as an initiated statute rather than a constitutional
they legalized weed here. Gotta go.
Legislators can tweak at will. So expect ongoing battles. Next up,
logo
Virginia, where lawmakers are revisiting adult use cannabis sales, aiming to launch a regulated market by 2026. Senator Aaron Rouse and Delegate Paul Krizik are spearheading the effort, which would allow adults to purchase up to 2.5 ounces with a tax of up to 11.6%. Key provisions include 1, licensing through the Virginia Cannabis Control Authority, 2, THC limits on products, 3, restrictions on licensing for individuals with certain felony convictions, and 4, local opt-out options via referendum. While home cultivation is already legal, the goal is to curb the illicit market. However, Governor Glenn Youngkin vetoed a similar plan before, so whether this attempt succeeds remains to be seen. Let's move now to Kentucky, where its medical program is gaining traction with 2,200 approved cardholders and counting. Meanwhile, 66 applicants were sidelined due to paperwork issues, but will get another shot. Governor Andy Beshear is also